I actually feel like it's kind of a stereotypical thing where classical music is like geeky or whatever. So, you know, and a lot of African Americans, they might be afraid to kind of get out of their group, you know, like coming in to a place where there's a majority of other people that's not them. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to be different, or I'm afraid I'm going to be talked about this way because I'm Black in orchestra.
At that time, felt like, you know, there was no choice. You were forced to choose who you're going to be. You know, what's your identity going to be? Are you Black or are you white? Because it's all decided by that. Although the nice thing about Youth Symphony was it didn't feel like it mattered at all. It was like, you're just a cellist and it's all about how you play, and it wasn't about race. And I finally felt like, oh, this is where I felt total belonging, you know, and everyone else is just a classical geek like me.
It was kind of awkward at first, but then you just kind of learn to adjust. I mean, it's not that different.
In the Black community, I was like asked, why do you play their music? You know, you're playing the man's music, or you know, you don't think you're Black because you won't play jazz or you won't play R&B. Like, do you think you're better? And then when I was in the other world, the classical world, it was like something doesn't belong, and you would get, I don't want to say stared at, but like you were definitely different.
In my experiences with classical music, a lot of times the environments that I'm in aren't incredibly diverse, but I find that the shared passion for music is what brings me together with my other choristers, and you know, I don't focus as much on like the isolation that I can experience sometimes.
Well, I know in terms of maybe minority communities, they might not always feel like it's something that is a part of them or a part of their identity, and it might result from a lack of knowing the history and knowing that there's a long tradition of African American composers.
You're not always conscious of those things as a person in it, but it definitely would impact, you know, who, what music is studied, and it influences all those things in many silent ways that you don't see.
It's never been a problem because it's something I've grown accustomed to, but it would be nice to have some diversity in the class, because I think music is a lot of fun and a lot of people don't really tune into it. No pun intended, so.